Hello and welcome back after a very long hiatus. This is episode 66 of the Rat City Radio podcast. I'm your host, Perry the Pig, and with me as always is my good friend Dread. Dread, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely amazing. Having fun theory crafting the next patch here.
I love it. Today is August 17th, 2025, which means in 4 days from now, the people who are watching live and listening, in 4 days on August 21st, we have the launch of Dinosaurs. We have season 3 of Last Epoch. We have a lot of new stuff being added to the game. We have like the new Ancient Era stuff, which people have been looking forward to for a long time because we've got more dinosaurs to fight, more dinosaurs to have on our team as companions as well. We have a new Primordial unique mechanic. We've got reworks to Minion stuff, a couple Necromancer things, some Beast stuff, and a whole new what's the word I'm looking for? Overhaul? There we go. For Lich. Lich has not been changed in a long time, so Lich mains are rejoicing by finally having new toys. Before we talk about that, it's been a while since you and I have talked on podcast. How are you? Dread, what's going on, dude?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Just been waiting for the new patch. I've just been doing a lot of playing the game and stuff like that, and we're finally getting to actually play the game. Woohoo!
I said
did
this.
A lot of Zero to Hero work and all that. Go ahead.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, the Zero to Hero stuff that you did before last season was super helpful. People keep referencing like how good it was to have a benchmark for like what kind of stuff you could look for by trying to get down all of your oh man, what are they even called? What, the first 10 Nemesis? No, the first 10
Harbingers.
Harbingers. Oh my god, the terminology that I need to remember.
He's cooked, chat. He's cooked.
I'm totally cooked. Like I know what I'm doing. I just don't know the words that go along with it. It's all the motion and muscle memory. So we've had a couple months here. I guess I'm gonna just say real briefly, I've been playing a lot of like The Bazaar on the side. They finally had their Steam launch. I enjoyed playing that game as well. And then I just told Twitch chat and in Discord, my kid is going to school tomorrow. Some of you have been watching this Twitch stream longer than my child has been alive. So that's exciting. I got 2 kids. One of them is rolling over upstairs and the other one is finally going to school. So exciting life changes for me as a brief update. Cool.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Dread's like
I'm having really, I'm having good. No, I'm not falling asleep. No, I was waiting. I have a lot of cool stuff that happened recently. I went over like 5.5 of K hours for Last Epoch on Steam. And that's just Steam. That wasn't even before when I used to like play, like before Steam, back in the olden days. And it got to the point where I played so much Last Epoch that my computer crashed. Like,
I saw that update from you on YouTube. Did you just get a new PC?
Yep, I ordered it. I'm waiting for it to get here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for it to get here.
That is a pain in the ass. I'm sorry about that.
No,
anytime
okay,
that I've had to do anything with my PC, it just like it sucks.
Yeah, and I actually this time around I actually crowdfunded it a little bit because everyone around me was telling me to do that, and I did it, and we ended up getting a decent amount. And
if people want to help you, you got to let them help you.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. I'm just not used to that. But like I said, we did really well with that. And now the computer is coming. Hopefully before the patch, we'll see. Thankfully, I managed to talk to a friend and get a deal to see if I can use his computer for a little bit before, if it doesn't get here for launch. So
just
I'm
in case.
Screwed.
God,
Yeah,
imagine not having a
screwed.
PC set up in time for the launch.
I mean, my PC could do it, but like it's not doing well. Like, let me put it like this: I was doing a theory crafting stream earlier for the new patch where all I had was just a planner open and it was chugging. Woo!
That's such a
it was
pain.
still chugging. Yeah.
So are you going to like attack with Flay and then have 19 chaos bolts shooting on the screen and then have that scale with attack speed? Like you could blow up your old PC and then switch to your new one, like send it off in like style.
Not my specific build. I'm going to be playing Bleed Infernal Shade Warlock with the new gloves, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, what do you think you're starting with?
Do you want to do starter builds, or do you want to talk about everything? I want to talk about patch notes. Can we talk about patch notes first?
Sure, we can talk about patch notes.
So you just talked about the build that you're probably going to be starting with. let me briefly mention the build that I want to start with, but there's so many things I want to talk about before we get to that point. So let's first things first.
Yeah, of course.
I was looking at 2 builds. I was looking at Flay proccing Chaos Bolts, either a crit thing or a bleed thing. I think the bleed thing's pretty cool. We'll talk about that later. But I think what I'm actually starting is Bear Quake. I think I'm playing Bear Quake. I'm going to be a bear.
It looks very strong.
I'm going to be a bear. I'm going to have a bear. And we're going to have a bunch of earthquakes on the screen. Bear Quake, BBQ. I'm going to play the Bear Quake build.
That does sound very strong. It should be very strong.
All right, so for people just now getting back in the swing of things with Last Epoch, like if you're following content like this podcast, you already have read the patch notes. You've already watched the video of, like, at least Judd has been talking to you and telling you what's coming up with the next patch. But you and I can talk about this too. So I'm gonna do a brief rundown of what's new in the patch, and then I've got my first thing that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna ask you as well. So in this,
I hope you read the patch notes.
Oh my god! Hopefully everyone's read the patch notes. The patch notes are really good. Like, I always wonder, like, I take these big breaks from Last Epoch, and when I come back to it, like, am I still going to love the game? Am I still going to enjoy it? Do I still want to be a content creator for it? It's like, I've taken a big break from Last Epoch, but like, I come back, I read the patch notes, I log in, I kill some monsters for fun. Like, yeah, no, this game's great, and I'm really genuinely looking forward to what's going on here.
There's something magical about that. It's because
it's good. It's a good game.
No, it's because you're doing something that not many people actually do, and that's called taking a break. Let me tell you, the amount of people, like, I have a rotating friendship with a lot of people, because what will happen is they'll play the game just as much as I do, and they won't take a break with the game, and they'll be like, wow, this patch sucks. Wow, this patch sucks. And it's like, dude, take a fucking break, for the love of God. Like, you are going insane. Just take a break.
There's so many good games out there. Like, don't lock yourself down to literally playing one game.
I literally played Borderlands for the first time the other day. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
All right,
it's
so
like,
I'm just gonna go back to season 3 stuff.
No, you're good. Yeah.
So for season 3, we have chapter 10. So no longer only chapter 9 that you're gonna skip. Also chapter 10. So chapter 10 is a return to the ancient era. People have long been saying to EHG, like, dear EHG, every time that I go to the ancient era, it's only for 5 minutes, but it's the most beautiful part of the game. It's bright, vibrant colors. Like, why do modern games, like, hate color? Why is everything, like, dark and dreary all the time? But the ancient era is so full of life and dinosaurs and cool monsters and bright colors and flowers. It looks beautiful. Also, it's like, you know, the latest expansion of the game, so it's going to look visually entertaining as well. So we have the ancient era stuff. Amazing. We have new end game mechanics of interacting with, like, new monsters that are be that we can evolve, I suppose. So we'll grow their lineage, and then we'll harvest their hearts and organs and turn them into loot. So that sounds good. We have a new mechanic called Primordial items. We have both Primordial uniques and Primordial exalted items. The most important thing while we're browsing through this is that anything that has the word Primordial on it, you can only have one of them. If you're using a Primordial unique, it means you're not using a Primordial exalted, and then opposite as well. Like I said at the beginning, we also have a Lich rework. The skill tree, the mastery, looks very, very good. Lots of new toys in there. It kind of reminds me of how good the VK mastery rework was as well. New skill there. New minion updates for Necromancer and Beastmaster. The Beastmaster itself got a big update, or I guess like a medium update for Beastmaster stuff. And I think at the very, very end of this, I'm going to tack on one more thing, which is, like, not big, but I think it's worth calling out, because the people who tune into this podcast, to some extent, are already sweaty tryhards. Because let's be real, you're listening to people talk about this on a podcast form. There used to be some overleach technology that worked with gloves, and you could have a little bit of drain on your life all the time. And if you had a little bit of drain, then you never count as full life, and you could always have overleach. It's funny that I also see Amarathi watching this stream right now. He's in Twitch chat, and he has been, like, trying to get this removed from the game. He's trying to, like, publicize it as much as possible for literally years. So when I think about the overleach, when I think about the overleach tech finally getting removed from the game, I think, like, wow, Amarathi really did this. Yeah, since 8.1, cool. It's been in the game for a while, which is important because now overleach stuff really only works if you're a Lich, which is cool because, like, Lich, that's part of their identity as well, and they just got a big update.
And that's only if you take significant, like, that's only if you half your life and you set your ward to half your life.
And it works with Death Seal as well if you're like only doing that temporarily.
Yeah. It's like significant downside to do so. It's not like you just put on an experimental affix so then all of a sudden it works.
All right. So I've got my whole list of things and builds and topics that we can talk about, but I know I don't want to overshadow you. What's on your mind that you're looking forward to in the dinosaur minion patch?
What I'm looking forward to? Well, I'll be honest, this patch, fuck the patch notes. They're cool and all. But like the primordial items are the real part of the patch. They're the real meat and the potatoes. 20 different ones. Like, and the thing is, it's not just like when it's like a different patch. It's not like Diablo 4 was like, we added 40 uniques. It's like, and they're all like shit. It's more like we added 20 uniques that almost all of them can be used and built around in various different fashions, right? Like it's real stuff. It's like actual stuff that actually went through development, like real items. And that's a lot. And the reason why I'm so hyped for them is because they're finally doing something that I have been waiting for Last Epoch forever. Everyone's always telling me, hey, Dread, why don't you play your builds longer? Why don't you keep going? Why do you not play builds for too long? Why do you stop and then move on? Well, it's for this reason alone. And it's something that Path of Exile has had for a while, but Last Epoch has not. In Path of Exile, if I want to take a character and I want to push it to the absolute extreme, it doesn't matter if the base skill that I chose is shit or less than good. I would say less than average, right? Not absolute shit, but less than average. Let's say like heavy strike, right? But I can invest a significant portion of my money or currency in Path of Exile to make that skill better and function. I can get the extra strike for the extra strikes for heavy strike. I can scale the damage. I can get a mirror tier weapon. I can do all of these things to push my build to the absolute extreme and actually be able to take on the hardest of the content in Path of Exile. And Last Epoch, up until this patch, you have to work with what you're given. If Cinder Strike doesn't have enough more damage in its tree, guess what? You're not doing Uber Avroth. You're done, kiddo. Like, you're done with the character. It doesn't matter how much you pour into it, right? Shit like that. And these Primordial uniques are a start to that. Like a bridge to that kind of play where you can take that meme build and push it to the absolute extreme and try to do the pinnacle content, right? And that is why I'm excited for this next patch, because it's the beginning of that, of the ability to actually choose a character, find different ways of like scaling into the end game, and we like actually pushing a build to its extreme instead of being stuck with the kind of like limitations that the developers have put onto you because they forgot to add an extra zero somewhere, right? That is why I'm excited.
I asked you, what are you excited about? Because I didn't want to step on your toes, and I didn't want to like just only have the list of topics. I can show you my list. The very first thing that I wanted to talk about was Primordials as well. I think that they like totally co-sign what you said. They knocked it out of the park with this. I love the Primordial item system. Like I said, it's like at the top of this before I handed it off to you. I like that it's like mutually exclusive with like you can only have one of them and it gets in the way of you doing something else instead. So you can't have like a tier 8 exalted affix on LP because it doesn't interact with the LP system. It's like a double seal kind of situation.
It allows them to be build defining without being build overwhelming.
It allows them to be strong as hell too, right? So like just like you said with like the D4 comparison or like some other game, whatever you want to make fun of, like instead of having a bunch, like an inundation of new unique items and you need to sift through this to see like, okay, this is actually good and 99% of the runic invocations are garbage. Like we actually have every single one of these is exciting. There's like one that I'm not excited about, but the vast majority.
Even if you can't find one you like, you can just use a Primordial Exalted.
Yes. Oh my god, it's so good. And like there's multiple that could work on your build. Like if you don't get one immediately, you could use something else. I don't know how easy it is to like get exactly what you want. Like it looks like you just basically buy it from the guy that you're interacting with.
Let's be real. I have 5.5k hours in this game.
Right, like you're gonna get the one you want, right?
I'm gonna get what I want.
Right. I think they really knocked it out of the park with this. One of my compliments about Last Epoch for a long time is that I think they do opportunity cost quite well when it comes to gearing with prefixes and suffixes, when it comes to like choosing an LP item or choosing what base type you're using. And the opportunity cost of like, I get to do this, but I want to do this, or like, I only get to have 5 skills, but if I had 6 skills, I'd spec this other thing, but I can only have 5 of them. So which ones do I choose? Opportunity cost and like working within these constraints, not being able to do every single thing that you want really works well with Last Epoch for a long time. And like they doubled down on it. They just made primordial items, all the tier 8 modifiers, they're like, fuck it, twice as strong as a tier 7 modifier. Double seal it. Put more affixes.
Staff. You get a two-handed staff with 170% cast speed with 5 other affixes.
6 affixes total, right? It's gonna be sick. I love that it seals it. I love that you can continue crafting more things. The crafting system in Last Epoch is becoming better and better and better, like more fleshed out. And we know that, like in the past, Judd has said publicly that he thinks that Last Epoch is going to, quote unquote, hit its stride between like patch 1.3 and 1.4. So like he's looking forward to 1.4. 1.2 that knocks it out of the park. 1.3 looks amazing. The guy has been looking forward to 1.4 for a while. Like, I know this patch isn't even here yet, but I'm still feeling very good about the future of Last Epoch. So, Primordial X items, you can Primordial and have tier 8 set affixes too. Oh, there's some really cool stuff that we can talk about. But the opportunity cost.
It's so funny when people ask that. Mike was like, "That's kind of a roundabout way of getting it, but you can do that."
Yeah, you fucking can, and it's so cool. All right, so primordial items. Just so you said like forget the patch notes, talk about these. Like they were in the patch notes, but really I've been looking at like I've been looking at like right, but like the cool stuff is all those different unique items and what those make you want to play. Like the patch notes tell you that Flay is a new skill, and they tell you that, you know, your bear can cast Earthquake for you. And it's like, okay, cool, there's 2 new things that I can do with this entire patch. It's like, no. Reevaluate every single build that you've ever played or enjoyed and see if it can make use of one of these new items. Like just because Sentinel didn't get explicitly updated, like Sentinel definitely has new tools.
Unfortunately, because of the timing, because of the craft and stuff, which we won't go over, because of the PW2 stuff happening in the time it's coming, because Last Epoch is finally getting to a 4-month cycle, and people aren't used to that. They're used to it late in a year. So like, I doubt many people even know that Ellie's getting a new patch here soon. Like, I doubt it. Because of all these things, I think this patch is going to not do as well, and it's not going to have as many people play it, and it's going to go severely underlooked, the primordial items and stuff like that. And it's going to be funny because we're going to have so many people come next patch and be like, what the fuck are these? You know, like, what are these? Or they just added this patch? I'm like, nope, they're added last patch. So cool. I legitimately think that's going to happen.
All right, so do you want to talk about the individual items? Do you want to talk about builds? Do you want to talk about hunting down lineages and harvesting their hearts? What are you into?
Well, we can talk about the beasts real quick if you want to explain what the system is.
I barely understand the system, but you said
I can explain it.
Give me a rundown. Go ahead.
All right, I can explain it. All right, so TLDR about the Primordial Beast system is it's actually the exact same system that was in the Hunt expansion for Wolcen. Believe it or not, someone told me that. Like, believe it or not, I went and looked, and it legitimately is. It is like almost like word for word and everything.
So and just in case I never played. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I never played Wolcen, so I needed more of an explanation.
You know what I replied to that? You know what I replied to that YouTube comment? I said, Well, they weren't using it anyways.
So you hunt beasts, you get a guaranteed drop as you're hunting them. So like you're gonna get the right crafting material that you want, and then as you level them up, you have a better chance of getting getting unique items and tier 8s to drop on the ground. And then you start out with like 4 upgrades, but you can expand it to 7 upgrades once you do a woven echo for it. Yeah, something like that. You just kill monsters. You kill monsters and get loot out of it.
Now, I didn't really think that it was actually going to be that good. I will say I was slightly a doubter. I'm not gonna lie, I was one until I found a link to the list of modifiers that these monsters, primordial beasts, can get. And if you're wondering, that list is like 3 pages long. And to give you an idea here, right? That's like, I think, well over 30 plus different abilities or whatever. So as you're evolving your beasts, you're gonna probably be able to like make so many different combinations, kind of like Oribus, right? And it's not gonna end up being boring because of that, because you have so many different ways of combining the beasts and stuff like that. And apparently only specific combinations of beasts can drop items. There's 3 primordial items that are drop only. Like a good example, the bleed gloves that everyone loves right now. Yes. The bleed explosion gloves,
like boss
those are drop only.
Yeah,
those are drop only, right? I don't want to spoil that. I won't spoil that. But because of all of this, right? It's not going to get as boring as quickly, because Nemesis kind of gets a little boring, right? You just kill him, get the loot.
He dies really fast too.
Yeah,
he just
something I appreciate about Oribus is I've been playing this game for 5.5 thousand hours, and every time I fight Oribus, it still feels like a new experience, because you're fighting him at different power levels. You're fighting him when he's faster, when he's slower. And he has like so many different abilities that even with this amount of time that I've been playing, it doesn't feel so samey. But these beasts have more abilities than Oribus does.
I suspect that these beasts are going to be quite difficult. I'm kind of imagining like essence monsters and like possessed by a tormented soul. Like, I don't know if those are still relevant in Path of Exile these days, but I'm imagining something like that. Like we're making them harder 6 or 7 times. Like it's going to be difficult, right?
Well, we kind of need that anyways. We need more, because that's actually one of the bigger problems with the game right now, is we need more content that fills the void between getting to 1,000 corruption and getting to like Uber Aperoth, right? We need more content specifically for that, in my opinion. Like, we need more of it. So the more the merrier, in my opinion.
Hopefully it ends up being a good system. Listen, any system in an action RPG where like you just kill monsters, make them harder, get better loot, choose your own difficulty, like the framework for that leaves me hopeful that it's going to end up being good.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. And even then, even if it's not good, the loot's good. Who cares?
Love loot. Let's talk about
part of the mechanic. Actually, I'm sorry, we didn't go fully on the mechanic. So what's going to happen is you're going to enter this rift, and you're going to encounter, after a little bit of a hunt, where you go through because you're not only just going there and killing him, you're going there and you're hunting him. So you have to go into this side zone. It's called a cave. That's what it's called. And mind you, these caves cannot spawn in monos where you have cemeteries and tombs. So they're complete side zones, right? And you go in the cave, you go through all the cave, and at the end, there's the primordial beast. And once you kill it, it drops 3 eggs. And you choose between those 3 eggs, and those beasts, the beast will like die, and then you'll have a new little baby beast that goes back in time, and you have to go and find that one. But what's interesting is when you choose the modifier, all future beasts you fight in that lineage shares those modifiers. And why that's interesting is because the drops also count too. And
The drops are like continually impacted by which modifiers you're picking for the lineage, sure.
And part of that is when you're to get to another cave after you do your first cave, you have to wait until you have killed a specific amount of primordial beasts in your monolith. They will jump you and ambush you. And once you kill them, they will drop their drops as well, the same drops you chose to give them. And after you've killed a specific number of them, then another cave will open and then you'll do it again. So you're getting multiple dividends and rewards. So let's say you get a one that says drop an exalted pair of boots. Well, that first one will drop an exalted pair of boots, and then each one after that will keep dropping, but you're going to fight them multiple times in the monos.
Yeah, it's like your next 20 minutes of farming is all going to have like bonus
extra exalted boots.
Sure.
Yeah. And you're going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And that is the most interesting thing about it, is that specific part, because like you're going to get so much. There's so much.
Twitch chat tells me that there's a Weaver node that will let random T6 Rift beasts ambush you.
That'll be fun too.
Deal. I'll take it. Hopefully.
Yeah, that'll be fun too.
Hopefully I won't die. We have a lot of stuff to move through, and like I like the rundown. Let's keep going.
Yeah, you're good.
We have at least 2 updates that I want to talk about here. The first one's Lich. Lich is a big one. So Lich has basically been unchanged for a very long time, 5 years or something. We got the update of including the item Stygian Vise or Stygian Coal, and like that's been pretty much the only change to Lich that we've seen
at this point. That has become the dead horse. We have slapped it enough.
Like we have Marina's Lost Soul, and that was introduced years ago, and then it's really nothing much has been happening. We have a real reason to play Lich. If you've never played Lich before, you should know that Lich is very, very fun. Death Seal is going to be quite different this time around. That's the very first thing I want to talk about, because this is kind of similar to Volatile Reversal. Volatile Reversal influenced all of every Sentinel build, because the vast majority of Sentinel builds were using Volatile Reversal, and it gave a bunch of % increased damage taken. So we would juice up the damage, especially for damage over time, of every Sentinel build until last patch. Right now, we have a very similar thing looking at like Lich builds. Death Seal was giving you a bunch of % increased damage and something like 66% more damage. So every single build you had those steroids built into it, because you were speccing Death Seal the vast majority of the time. Not always, there were some ward-based builds, but the vast majority. So this time around, your Death Seal does not give you 66% more damage. It is a crazy defensive steroid. It now looks very similar to Flame Ward. Like, how do you die when Flame Ward's up? How do you possibly die when Death Seal's up? It looks very, very strong. I've even heard some people like speculate that you could just not spec Death Seal and just have it unspec.
Wait, you mean as a Lich, I'll actually be able to have a different like thing on my bar?
You could potentially. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Or even just not spec it. Like the skill tree of Death Seal isn't crazy. Like it's fine. You could just not spec it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It also does not consume your ward, which is a huge change to how Lich builds were ever built in the past. Because again, the vast majority of builds were using Death Seal because of the offensive and defensive things, and Death Seal ate all your ward, so you would just be a health-based build and try to have 4,000, 5,000 life or something. So these days, you could have ward or health, or ward and health, or ward and health cut off at the 50% point with that new Corrupted Soul node, which looks amazing. Like, there's a lot of different defensive ways to play Lich now.
Let me put it like this. Before, when I would play Lich, I felt like I was on autopilot. I would click on nodes I knew that had been good for 4 years.
Yes.
Now, when I theory craft a Lich, I am overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed last night when I theory crafted my first Lich build. I had to go ask my friend to come on call with me to assist me. And remember, I have like 5.5k hours. I would hope I somewhat know what I'm doing at this point, right? I would hope at this point, right? And because of that, like I literally had to like get some assistance to wrap my mind around some of the changes. And because there's so much you can do, there's so many different avenues you can approach with it. It's not just, go ahead.
I love how many options we have for both offenses and defenses. Like we have good ailment stuff. It's not only crit, like there's really good reason to go crit still, but we have a lot of good ailment stuff built into it as well. We even have frostbite support. We have more fleshed out cold conversion.
Poison is better on Lich than it is Warlock, and bleed, I believe, with the gloves is better on Warlock than it is on Lich.
And then you still have access to bleed overload and poison overload from the introduction of Warlock. Like, oh, it's so good. I've been enjoying. So one of the builds I was considering playing was a bleed low life Lich build, and I had to figure out that if you go low life and you still have ward, you do kicked out of Reaper form. So maybe I got to fix that with AOD. But to me, just like all the defensive avenues that I've considered, like, do I want to be life based? Do I want to like have 30% more HP, but my health and ward can't bypass the 50% point? I could have like perma leech like that. Do I want damage over time to bypass my ward, similar to like a corrupted soul kind of Path of Exile setup? Like the defensive setups and the variations and the different unique items that you want to use at that point. It's really, really makes me enjoy theory crafting, like what a Lich is going to look like. It's good. It's an excellent update.
Very exciting. Very, very exciting.
Okay, so there was, let's see, Flay is the big thing we have to talk about here. So I talked about Death Seal and what like Lich builds looked like in the past, offense, defense. Have you looked at Flay builds?
I have. I've actually theory crafted a few of them, and so has my Discord. We've been very hard at work theory crafting everything under the sun. So I think people are going to get debated by Flay a little bit, and
tell me why.
They're going to have the wrong expectations for it. They're going to think that they're going to be able to just put on Flay and just use Flay for everything, for clear and for single target. But the problem with Flay is it's the first skill in a very long time that it has one purpose and one purpose only.
Go on.
To clear the screen. That is Flay's job. That is all it does, and that is all that's pretty much what it's going to do. There are ways of making it pseudo do single target, like you can try to force it to do single target and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's going to clear because it has an on-kill effect, it has a ways of proccing other spells, it has a mana cost specifically, right? That's the biggest thing, is it has a big mana cost. And because of all of these factors, people are gonna like go into the patch, like they're gonna hack at a Harbinger and be like, "Wow, this spells shit."
Yeah, like guzzle all your mana if you haven't figured it out yet. Sure.
Yeah, and because of that, it's just gonna be like Heartseeker, where it's like it's gonna jabate people. I'm unfortunately.
When you said jabate, I thought you were gonna talk about something else. So I'm gonna give it back to you in a second. But like, Flay is actually one of the slowest abilities in the whole game. The base attack speed is 1.1. You can do 1.1 of them like every second. Super duper slow. The vast majority of skills in the game are 1.467. And like when you have a skill that goes slower than that, it feels much slower. It's like one of the big complaints about detonating arrow over time. It's like detonating arrow just kind of feels slow. It kind of feels clunky. And it has like a 1.3 attack speed. Like it has an attack speed penalty built into it or something. Judgment and Erasing Strike are both bonky skills. They're like 1.15 or something. So like this is slower than Judgment. It's slower than Erasing Strike. It is a slow skill. What's interesting about that is like by default the melee thing is quite slow, but if you convert it into a spell and like there's like a node in the bottom right, like cast speed only, like Flay just manually makes the blood explosion happen, it goes back to being a 1.467 base cast speed. So like maybe cast speed stuff is worth exploring as well. But so you think it's only for clear speed and not for single target?
No, I think that the base functionality is
okay.
I think like just melee Flay. Either you do an ailment to get the pops, or you just play melee Flay in scale dexterity with the dexterity scaling like that. Oh, there are ways of scaling it to actually do single target. And like what Naked America said in the chat, if I'm hitting one target 30 times a second, it's going to die. And it's like, yeah, if you go the Chaos Bolt route, you can do single target, but that's Chaos Bolt's doing it.
Well, isn't every Flay build a Chaos Bolt build?
It doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't have to be. No, if you play melee deck stacking Harvest and use Flay for clear, you don't have the Chaos. You don't have the Chaos Bolts node, right? Like, why would you run the castable spell?
True. Okay, I hear
Like,
you. I agree.
Yeah.
But are
yeah,
people coming to you with that recommendation, playing melee flay? Is anybody?
Well,
we've
no.
got 120 people in chat right now. Is anybody playing melee flay?
I theory crafted one earlier, and it didn't look terrible.
Not terrible.
It looked good. It looked good enough to the point where like I would legitimately be thinking about playing it. Okay. But I think, like I said, ARPGs over the past few years have kind of devolved into a one-button playstyle kind of mentality.
Yeah. Go on.
And you see it, I see it, everyone sees it. It's what everyone asks for. It's what everyone does. And the problem is, without significant investment, you're not going to achieve that with Flay. Because if you try to go the Chaos Pulse route, you have to fix your mana somehow.
Yes.
If you try to make Flay itself do the damage, you have to put in significant investment.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to go, if you try to just use it to clear, you have to do significant investment with like crit. Like you have to invest into it to make it function because of its low base attack speed, because of its mana cost, because of not many more damage nodes in the tree. Because of all of these factors, you will have to invest more into it. Because the same thing happened with Heartseeker.
Oh, yeah, great comparison.
Like,
totally
Heartseeker
agree.
Is in the same level where it's not that good at a low investment, but when you get it to a super uber investment, it starts performing really well.
If this ends up being a similar skill like Heartseeker, because like Heartseeker looks insane, is insane, had everybody super hyped up, and like it's got lots of good build variety built into
exactly
it. If this ends up being in the same bucket as Heartseeker, then EHG is just nailing it out of the park. That'd be a very good thing to have happen.
Yeah, and like, because like what's gonna happen is someone's gonna try to do the mana stack and Chaos Bolt build, and they're gonna have 300 mana, and they're gonna be like, I'm out of mana.
It's pretty fucking bad.
I'm out of mana. You know, like that's gonna happen, and I'm gonna watch it happen.
It's then they're gonna complain to you that your build is bad. True.
Well, no, they're just gonna complain play is bad, and then I'm gonna play it as my second build instead of my league starter, and then I'm gonna do fine with it because I invested into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think you need 2,000 mana. I've got people linking me build guides or build.
I know
with like 2,500 mana or something. But like, even like 700 mana, 700 to 800 mana is not difficult to get.
Well, no,
like,
part of it too is like you gotta get that mana.
You have to get that, yeah.
And then you also
like league start
while also having that mana.
Yeah. Like league start, like day 1, day 2, like maybe the mana stacking thing isn't what you do. Maybe you just go bleed or something. Because the bleed stuff looks
something
really...
else.
Oh yeah, you just play something else.
Bleed stuff looks fine. Yeah. You just play something else.
The whole bleed suite.
Well, that's like the thing too, is people are allergic to doing that too. like they're allergic to doing that too. I'll be like,
yeah, go ahead.
Like I was talking about the Lich Flay setup that I was gonna play, the poison one that I was gonna play for after I respec my Warlock. I was talking about how like, hey, I'm gonna play the Warlock first, make some money, and then I'm gonna swap into the Lich Flay. And it's like, no, I want to play the Lich first. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. I'm not gonna help.
Like, it's fine. Like maybe like they're gonna have a different experience than you. Like I feel like every person who plays Flay is going to have a good time. There's going to be growing pains because there's not going to be, easy peasy communal knowledge from everyone in the community about exactly how to level this character. But like the people who play Flay as a first build are going to like it. People are going to try different things. I want to talk briefly about the bleed stuff because I think there's a lot of good bleed synergy there. One of the best things about Healing Hands for Electrify is that Healing Hands spreads your Electrify stacks between monsters, and it's super strong in a league start scenario, and it's really good for clear speed. That is built into the bleed portion of Flay. Bleed Flay, like I hope someone plays it. I don't think I'm gonna league start it, but I like Bleed Flay looks really solid.
The reason why I'm going Ignite, the reason why I'm going Poison is because the outscaling, it kind of outscales it a little bit. And that's why I'm just going to play Bleed Warlock first and then swap into Poison Flay.
Bleed Warlock with the gloves, converting everything into bleed.
Yeah, like
Cool. Love it.
yeah.
Sounds really good.
I got 1400% bleed on my planner.
How could it be bad? I love it.
Well,
There's also
I mean, I played very similar builds, so it's fine.
there's a lot of like new nodes in Lich that give you like bleed chance and frostbite chance, and like just convert that all into bleed. Or 13% chance to poison on hit, hybrid with less poison damage taken. Just take that, convert it into bleed. Like we have actually been talking about one of your builds you played in the past, Dread. You talked about like the everything bagel warlock.
That's literally what the build I'm going to be playing.
Yeah,
with the
take
gloves.
that and just like have a warlock or have a lich with like every fucking ailment out there, anything you can get, and just convert it all to one. Like that's a really strong starting point. And ailments are a great place to be for a league starter or season starter too.
Mm-hmm. I
Cool.
agree.
All right, so bleed stuff. I hope someone plays bleed. I'm not going to end up playing like a bleed warlock, I think. Or sorry, a bleed lich.
So, should we talk about minions?
I skipped over a couple parts of the patch notes, but I think we should. All right, so minions to give like the factual knowledge first, and then I'll ask for your input on it. Minions didn't get an update. Minions have minion power. They used to gain like a bunch of more damage as you leveled up, your character leveled up. Like in the background, it's called like minion power. And then they have less damage taken. So that's been buffed. Minions automatically deal more damage and automatically take less damage as well. We have more minion support with a toggle for their functionality. A brand new button on your keyboard. It will make minions either target the enemy or will make them stay close to you as much as possible. And then there's some extra background stuff with them teleporting to you if they get too far away. So like that sounds good, like that. They fixed some minion funny AI stuff with them moving too fast or doing their animations at the wrong time. So a lot of like background information about that. And then we also have updates for a couple of Necromancer things and updates for a lot of Beastmaster stuff. So where do you want to start there?
So I have a diatribe about this. I'll keep it short.
Ooh.
I am on the record for disliking minions heavily in Last Epoch. Okay. Now, part of that is because I just hadn't played other games with minions in them. And I played a bunch of different games. I had a little bit of a soul searching, right? And I played a bunch of different games with a bunch of different minion builds. I played Soulrancer, and the minion builds in that game were great. I played Hero Siege a little bit, and the minion builds in that game were actually pretty good. And then I played Hell Clock, and the minion builds in that game are pretty good. And then I played some PoE, and the minion builds are pretty okay in that game. And then I played some D2, and the minion builds in that game are pretty okay. So pretty much, it's exactly what I thought. Last Epoch's minions, at least currently, I hate them.
Why do you hate
the current version? Why do I hate them? Because EHG is afraid of letting them be automated damage sources because they don't want that for the game. They don't want you to be able to not click a button or click buttons and clear content and do things. And because of that, they, or at least over the past few years, the minions have sucked. And there's been a lot of different things that have changed this patch to fix that. Okay? One of my biggest issues with minions was their AoE was just atrocious. Watching skeletons or summon A-bomb try to kill like a random like white mob or a pack of white mobs in the mono is one of the most excruciating experiences I've ever experienced playing an ARPG. And that's because they were very afraid in the beginning to give minions actual stats. Like, they just didn't want to give them AoE. They didn't want to give them ways to scale. Like, they didn't want to do anything like that. And it was very apparent. And just this patch, not only did we get a bunch of AoE skills for minions, like Bear getting Earthquake, A-Bomb not sucking, and its AoE skills not sucking. We got summon Scorpion, get Maelstrom, which is a new thing, right? We got freaking Ancestral Sabertooth getting Upheaval on attack, right? We've gotten all of these things, just every single one of these things in this patch. One patch, mind you, just one patch. All of these ways of scaling AoE. And guess what affix they introduced this patch? Increased minion area damage hybrid. We did not have that before. It's true. On gloves and amulets. It rolls to like 50%. It's pretty absurd. Ooh. And not only that, they also introduced primordial items and uniques with minion area. This is the first time in the history of the game where we've actually gotten access to area. Like, and it's like everyone's telling me, it's like, oh, like Necromancer didn't get that many changes. Oh, poor Necromancer.
Yeah, in the patch notes. That's the very first thing you said in this podcast too. Forget the patch notes. Go look at primordial items.
Now, let me not just that, the affixes they added. So like, okay, let me go ahead. A good example here. Where is it? I'm looking it up real quick.
Go ahead.
Summon Golem, right? I am pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, is Bone Shatter an area effect? Oh, it isn't. Oh, that's unfortunate. So it's like projectiles. Okay. But like a good example, a good starting point is like the area that Bone Golem has, like the burning aura area, like the fire damage over time area. Mm-hmm. You couldn't scale that before. You couldn't scale the size of that before, other than what it was in its tree. You couldn't scale it. You couldn't scale the AoE of A-Bomb's Earthquake or Slam. You couldn't scale that. You couldn't scale like melee attacks for Summon Skeleton. There was like only one way, and you had to use like Julra's Obsession to put area on that. Like that's a waste, dude. Just do that. That's a lot of investment. Just do that, just to get like 20% area, right? Shit like that. You can actually scale the melee area of your skeletons. Like, there's so many different ways you can actually scale your clear speed. Like, summon Volatile Zombie. You can make their AoE hit the entire screen if you wanted, if you're playing a Warlock, that you weren't able to do before. Like, you have so many different ways of actually scaling things that we weren't able to scale before, that, like, Necro's going to enter a little bit of a renaissance because of that, I think. Like, a good example, Necrotic Mortar, is that an area? I don't know if that's an area. It doesn't seem like it's an area. They haven't really updated the tags in forever. I'd have to test that. But like, there's all these area skills that we never usually use because their base area was so small. But now we have so many different ways of actually scaling the area that it might actually legitimately be a good idea to do so.
I'm going to read these numbers real quick because this is I didn't realize that there was a minion area and damage thing that was been added to the game.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's on amulet and gloves prefixes. It is a tier 1. It's like 5% damage, 5% area. It's like not very good. Tier 5 is about 15 and 40. So 15 area and 40% increased damage. Pretty good. Tier 7 goes up to about 30 and about 100% increased damage. And then tier 8 minion area and damage is about 60% increased area and about 200% increased damage.
And there's a primordial shield that gives like 40% increased minion area. There's a helmet that gives 25% increased minion area. There's so many different things that actually gives area now. It's hilarious.
And you know what else has minion area?
What's that?
You know what minion area? You know EQ has an area node on it?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And like, now we have ways of actually scaling these things. And also, not only that, people are like, oh, where was my skeletons buff? Guess what? You can get up to 100% chance to resummon skeletons after 3 seconds. Our skeletons are like PoE 2 skeletons now.
There's even unique items that augment that.
Resummon them.
Yeah, there's even unique items for it too. It's good.
We don't even have to resummon them. And because of that, that's so much less mana and casting you have to do, and you can focus a little bit less on HP and a little bit more on damage, and you can focus on casting other things that are more important.
Could I play a sacrifice build and just blow up my skeletons over and over?
You can do that. Like, look, like you can actually have, like, you know that scene, it's very burnt into my mind, where you fight an Orbis and he does the meteor and all of your skeletons die. And because of that, because you didn't min-max that, you didn't move your skeletons, you press T and you redo the fight again, or you go to a different Orbis, right? Like that is a very common occurrence right now if you try to play skeletons. Now he's gonna kill them all. It's like, guess what, motherfucker? They're all back. Who cares? All I gotta do is just recast my Dread Shade, maybe Infernal Shade, right? Like, and they'll actually do what they're supposed to do. Tank for you with one slot on your bar, because you don't have to keep resummoning them. Like, it makes minions for Necro actually do what they're supposed to do and be expendable. Because before they weren't expendable because they cost so much mana and they cost so much of your time casting them too. Like, it's so annoying. So it's just having them constantly be resummoned is great.
So it sounds like your takeaway is, even though the patch notes explicitly didn't target Necromancer with a whole bunch of buffs, you're encouraging people, like, go take a look at the affixes out there, the tier 8 stuff, the primordial unique items that are available now. Like, there are new Necromancer builds you can play, and, like, you know, new life that you can breathe into old Necromancer builds.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good. Let's go to Beastmaster next. Beastmaster has a couple new nodes in their skill tree, along with, like you said, skills that can be procced off of the various beasts. So, like, we have new stuff for Scorpion. You can turn your Scorpion into lightning and have it scale damage based on storm bolts hitting it, which is very cool. A lot of people have been excited about that. You can have it cast Maelstrom whenever you cast Maelstrom, also very cool. That probably works with Warcry as well, if I had to guess.
It should. It's whenever you gain one.
Oh, whenever you gain it. Oh, that's even better. So Sabretooth is casting Upheaval for you. And remember, like, Upheaval, one of the kind of pain in the ass things about Upheaval is, like, it looks like it's supposed to be an attack speed thing, but it also costs mana. But, like, your mana consideration, like, who cares? You're playing Sabretooth, it's their mana, not your mana. It's going to work no matter what. Like, that sounds very exciting. For EQ, it looks like maybe every 2.5 seconds you can get an EQ to go off. And, like, you could get some burst damage with, like, them having 2 charges of it. Hopefully the EQ bear ends up being good, because, like, that's obviously what I'm looking at here. But having them being able to cast your skills for you, and then pairing that with the minion either being aggressive, you know, go over there and attack the enemy, the boss, or stand next to me and I'll walk through the map, and then have it teleport to me if it gets too far away. Like, those things sound quite good for having these guys.
Speaking of, while you're here, you should talk about minion stances.
I don't know what that means.
Wait, what? You don't know? Minion stances?
Do you mean the aggressive and passive?
Yeah, minion stances.
Yeah, that's what I just talked about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there more? Yeah, that's one of the things I said at the very beginning of the minion stuff. Like, all of a sudden we have this new button on your keyboard. They can either go over there and be aggressive, or we can keep them next to my character and just, like, be tanky and stuff.
That's very important for skills like Summon Bear.
It is. If you're using Bear defensively or even offensively, I think it'll feel quite good to just have more control for where this idiot stands. So, like, I like it.
Aggressive's going to be great when you're playing, like, Wraiths and stuff like that. And, like, Skeletons now, because of the ability that they can, like, actually go and die and then resummon.
One of the things I want to shout out for Beastmaster is I read it, but I didn't really, like, internalize it. But recently I was looking at the skill tree, the mastery for Beastmaster again. Aspect of the Boar got quite a reasonable update. Aspect of the Boar, first of all, to activate it, you only need to use a traversal skill or evade. You no longer need to be hit by a melee attack.
Which means you can have it while you're in Spriggan form. Yeah. This is a Spriggan form buff.
Yeah, and you don't have to be, like,
we've been waiting for years.
Even if you're a range build, you still have very easy access to having it up proactively if you're ready to, like, receive a hit from an enemy. So, like, that sounds good.
Yeah, buff to every range build.
Definitely. And did you notice that all the bleed duration is tied to this to the buff itself?
Well, not only that, not only that, The
And
bleed pen too.
yeah, exactly. That sounds really good. So
you can
stacking
give like 200% bleed pen to your minion, to your companions.
And you can give it to them too. So aspect of the boar is damage reduction. And oftentimes when you're playing a Beastmaster, you're really incentivized to just get boar on your idols. Boar, 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 and that's all of your defenses. And it's a really good reason to be a Beastmaster because that's where your boar is coming from. Like you get increased effect, you get it on melee attack as well. So now, if you're doing some kind of like a Beastmaster build with his boar stuff, if you're doing bleed, it gets even better because that's the bleed duration and the bleed penetration also gets scaled with the aspect of the boar effect. Like that's really, really strong. I love that.
And this is also the same ailment that has some of the most minion scaling in the game with
the bleed stuff.
One of the strongest chests in the world for minion.
True. And like bleed
right?
squirrels is a thing. You can go bleed. Raptor is already like an established build that you can branch off of.
No, I'm talking about bleed werebear. I mean bleed bear, because you. Okay, so bleed bear. I actually theory crafted that the other day. I made a video about it. And pretty much, you take its casting earthquake and you use the node that makes the aftershocks cast in your totems, and you have it shoot like 10 aftershocks each time it uses an earthquake, and that's 10 hits for your bleed, for your bear's bleed. That's bleed 10 hits.
EQ.
Yep, that's 10 hits for your bear's bleed because of the aftershocks hitting the single target and then reapplying. Every single time it does an earthquake. And that's not on top of all of the thorns too, where you cast thorns too. So his melee attack hits twice pretty much. And you can scale a lot of generic bleed chance.
And here I was looking at crit EQ.
Well, crit's gonna outskill it in infinitum. Let's be real. Crit's gonna scale really hard because of the how things are interacting and all that. But bleed bear gets 200% bleed pen. Like, just for free.
Someone, your friend and mine, Arborist, was pointing out that you could also, like, if you were going to be like an ailment Beastmaster build, you could have your bleed stuff with your aspect of the boar. You could just take all the attack speed that you get from aspect of the serpent. Is that what it's called? Aspect of the serpent? Aspect of the... Yeah. Is it called serpent? Those words seem wrong to me. Whatever that aspect is that gives you attack speed and poison chance, you could just wear the poison or the bleed conversion gloves, the ones we were just talking about. Viper. Thank you, Twitch chat. Aspect of the Viper. You can convert
that's
all that.
20% more damage over time, by the way, now.
Yeah, and like just convert that into bleed and play like bleed tornado or something.
Yeah, like you can do that.
That's cool. I like it.
Bleed on Primus might see a resurgence because of those gloves.
Converting everything over. Oh, it's so cool. I like it a lot. All right. This is a dumb question, and I feel bad asking it. Can I use those with forged weapons?
No.
The gloves? If I give the forged weapons like ignite chance, does it get converted into bleed chance?
No, because then Malin's hubris would work, and we know that doesn't work.
Oh, does it not? Okay. So forged weapons, if something's interesting with forged weapons, it doesn't work. That's the rule. Got it. I'll play forged weapons someday. Whew. Okay, so that's Beastmaster stuff. Is there anything else Beastmaster related you want to talk about? I need like shark changes is more damage instead of increased damage. That's cool.
Oh, that's a buff. That's a huge buff. People won't see it as a buff for a little bit, but like it's nice to like actually. It's a buff to people who actually invest into their gear.
Right.
All these aspect changes are really good to the end game because this is actually a topic that's been in the last epoch for a while, where people have been complaining that gear doesn't matter, and part of that was because all of the percent increased damage that you'd get from like aspect of the shark, aspect of the viper, all of these things that gave bajillions of percent damage. Now that they're giving more damage, they don't do zilch until you actually scale damage. Actually put damage on your gear. Like 20% more of 5 is only 7. Like if you're not actually scaling damage, that 20% more is zilch, right? And
I love it.
But before you could just, stack all this increase and then ignore all increase on your gear and just stack other things. But now you have to actually put increase on your gear if you're doing aspect of the, shark and you're doing like melee stacking and stuff like that. you have to actually put damage on your gear now. Before you didn't have to, but you still get you get more benefit for doing so as well.
So I have a handful of the new primordial items that I'm interested in talking about.
Oh,
we could like
wait, no, we can say that for next stream.
Oh, for next, you want to go over the primordial items later?
Yeah, we can do it the day before like the patch launches if you want.
Oh, we could do that. So we've been talking for an hour at this point.
Yeah.
Are we making content, buddy?
Yeah, we can do that. I have time.
We're not locked.
Does the Ashes of Mortality stacks after the nerf? No, it will not stack. Speaking of Ashes of Mortality, if you don't know, what they did was they if Ashes of Mortality, what it reads is per ignite and damned on the enemy, you get a specific amount of ward, and you can get a very large amount of ward with this. But they recently nerfed it where it's capped to 2,000 ward per every 2 seconds. That has to be one of the best nerfs we have gotten in the history of Last Epoch. That is like the perfect amount of ward for them to cap it to. They could have been stingy. They could have put it to 1,000 for all we know, right? But like 2,000? Like, I'm proud of them, man.
2,000 is still a lot of ward. It's still totally fine.
Yeah, well, it's every 2 seconds. It's 1,000 ward per second. A lot of builds have to invest a lot to get that, right? So, like, yeah, that's, I don't know. It just, I saw that nerf and it made me happy because I'm like, finally, there's someone who actually used the item and realized that, like it needs to be fun to be usable. I don't know. It just puts a smile on my face seeing that because it makes me happy for the future because it's just like at least one of the people on the balance team get it. At least one of them. Not the people who... Oh, and speaking of that, did you see the dancing strike changes?
I have it on my list of things to talk about.
Real quick?
Yeah, dancing strike. So
you want to explain the history of it?
Sure. So dancing strikes is how people make fun of you. Let me, I don't know, man. So let's see. Dancing strikes, I'll pull it up in the patch notes right here. In the past, dancing strikes has been mid. And that's like, it's the worst thing you can be is mid.
It's been a utility skill.
It's been utility. Dancing strikes can apply shadow daggers. Dancing strikes could apply shadow cascade. And now it applies shadow cascade, or it procs shadow cascade more reliably. And that's quite good. There's been dancing strikes builds last patch that made use of snapshotting shadow cascade as well. People have tried bleed and poison dancing strikes, and like it's fine, but you really jump through a lot of hoops to make it work. And like it's fine, it's good, but there's really not a good reason to play dancing strikes, and I think that's criminal. So when you first get your mastery around level 25 or something in the past, but nowadays you get it like level 10 or something. But when you get your mastery, you unlock these like quintessential capstone skills that is supposed to like take the identity of your character and allow you to like do things with it. So like you get a Holy Aura Paladin and like you never need any more Ellie-Res in your life. You get Erasing Strike, you start bonking stuff and you immediately start feeling like a Void Knight, not just some dude who's purple. Like, that's awesome. So with dancing strikes, you're a rogue, you get all the best skills in the game, you get Umbral Blades, and then you become a, blade dancer, and then you just keep using Umbral Blades. Like, why would you ever use dancing strikes? It looks cool. It makes me feel like Riven from League of Legends. Like, I already feel like I'm 03, but like dancing strikes itself wasn't a great place to be. Now, the big change, I'm just going to read the patch notes for people who haven't read it or internalized it. It says it now gains increased cooldown recovery speed and more damage equal to 50% of your total increased melee attack speed. It used to give more damage based on 33% of your attack speed. Now so it went from 33 to 50% for damage, but it gains cooldown recovery speed. In the past,
also got a 50% more damage buff for its basic damage effectiveness as well.
Yes. The fact that you're getting bonus cooldown recovery speed by building attack speed is massive. You're gaining cooldown recovery speed, like you're applying the damage faster, and you're gaining more damage. Like it's quadratic. Your attack speed is just significantly more impactful now than it's ever been in the past.
They found a way to make the meme work.
Yeah, like who knows if it's good, but I can say
it's like it was kind of obvious that this should have been the way to go. But
I can say with confidence that like if you're playing dancing strikes, you're not going to feel bad. No one's going to make fun of you. In the past, I couldn't say that. But like, you just play Dancing Strikes. You can get Frenzy, and you can scale Frenzy effects. And your dual wield bonus has once again been buffed, so your defensive penalty is lower than it used to be. Instead of 9%, it's 8%. Just keep going down every single patch. And you get 20% increased attack speed, which scales into your cooldown recovery speed and your more damage here.
Also, for people who are listening, there's a Primordial unique called Gavel that doubles the affixes.
You just said we weren't talking about them. I said, hey, Dread, do you want to talk about Primordial uniques? He said, no, let's leave that for next time. And then you talk about them. Gavel is sick. It's triple wielding, dude. We have triple wielding in Last Epoch.
Yeah, I've messed around with it. It's very good. It even made Harvest look good.
Wow. Harvest without one of the 2 items that Heavy has introduced to the game. That guy really likes Harvest, huh?
Maybe one day he'll get to play with his uniques. Who knows? But I'm going to use Gavel.
Yeah.
Because I want to do damage.
Whetstone Gavel, Primordial One-Handed Mace. So you can't use a tier 8 with this. But in your offhand, it says, if you have an exalted weapon in your offhand, its stats are double. Have 100%
and we're going to
toughness.
Assume the base stats work too. We don't know.
Like your katana, instead of giving 50 crit multi, should give 100 crit multi, right?
Or your dagger gives 8 base crit instead of 4.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And instead of 50% attack speed, it gives 100% attack speed.
Oh. And like,
which is relevant
what that means?
To a skill we were talking about.
For an item like this, it reminds me of playing Rive with a big 2-handed weapon. And with
it's
Rive,
like stat stacking it's like a stat stick scaling from PoE.
With Rive, when they double the stats that had specific text on them, you really cared about having exactly the right base type with exactly the right affixes on it, the right prefixes and suffixes, because the reward for doubling those with Rive was fucking huge. It doubles it. It's great. But like with Whetstone Gavel, it's even better. Like you care so, I guess it's not even better. It's exactly the same, but you get all stats instead of just some of the stats. It makes you care even more about engaging with the crafting process and having the perfect weapon in your offhand. That is such a good thing for EHC to encourage. This is a great addition to the game. And it's got all attributes. Fuck, it's got all attributes, man. It's so good. I gotta go smoke a cig. I don't smoke. All right, so is there anything else you want to talk about right now? Or would you rather leave this?
Because we're just going to be talking about it, Primordial uniques.
I do love I really was looking forward to talking about the Primordial uniques.
Hey, we can talk about them the day before while everyone else is looking at PoE 2 news.
PoE 2. Okay, so we will have another podcast before the launch of season 3.
The day before.
So on August 20th, in 3 days from now, on Wednesday, we will have another podcast.
And you can choose the time.
All right, I'll let people know in Discord, let them know on Twitch as well. So, whew, it feels so good to be excited for Last Epoch.
I agree.
Like, I know I started the whole podcast like that. But man, it feels really fucking good to play a game like this. All right. Dread, thank you for sharing your evening with me. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
If you are watching this podcast live here on twitch.tv/PerryThePig, or if you're watching it after the fact on the YouTube channel or on Spotify, let us know where you're watching it. Let us make sure that your watching and viewing and listening experience is as good as it possibly could be. Dread, thank you so much for being here once again. And Twitch chat, for those of you who are watching right now, YouTube as well. We'll see you next time.
There's going to be like 2 people that get that picture, and this will be great.
The picture of what your face looks like here?
Yes. If you don't know, recently I went to a concert in Chicago of my favorite music artist. And that's just the W play shit that's going on right now.
Nope.
That's an image of her. It's funny, like a artist rendition. It's funny.
Got it.